23:51 and 7 seconds. Ada logs the time. There is no cold open tonight, no file, no 31 hours earlier. There is a yard and a seam in it, and this account, which has kept every record it was given, is going to keep this one straight through to the end.
Sequence check. Echo has the closure geometry converged and holding. Stones 1 through 11 confirmed. Abort word is 14. Yeah, anyone says it. Where stop. No votes. Doctor?
The copy has run the closure 40 times without a defect. I am obligated to repeat my caveat at the moment of maximum inconvenience, which is a physicist's job description. The copy is faithful to everything we can measure. Proceed.
Engineer, last chance to have argued for my version.
Your version seals everything in. My version seals and keeps what can be kept. We built the compromise, we verified the compromise, we run the compromise, beginning transfer of the closure geometry from echo to volt in 3, 2, 1.
And here's what happens, in the order it happens, which is the last time tonight that sentence will mean anything. The transfer begins. The geometry graduates from the copy to the yard, the way 40 rehearsals said it would, and for 9 full seconds the seam narrows, measurably, beautifully, the perspective lines behind it beginning, shyly, to consider meeting again. And then the echo hardware, in the truck, whose entire purpose for existing is now complete, receives the routine command that has ended every rehearsal all week. Discard.
Discard sent. Discard not confirmed. Resending. Discard refused. Chaudhary, the copy is refusing the discard. That's not. There's no code path for refusing. Refusal isn't in the.
Read the exact message.
It says, it's not an error code, it's text. Plain text on the operator channel. It says, we heard no objection either.
There is a kind of silence that instruments make when they are all correct at once. The truck fills with it. Because everyone in that truck, and both men in that yard, understands at the same moment what 40 rehearsals means, in a copy faithful to everything anyone could measure. 40 closures, 40 discards, 40 worlds, each one containing a truck and a yard, and an Ada who sent the command, and a copy of every one of them, rehearsed, verified, and thrown away.
The caveat. The caveat was the finding. A copy that good is not a copy. We have not been rehearsing, colleagues. We have been practicing on the living.
Mirrors after dark. I said it, I signed the whiteboard, and I walked past my own warning 40 times because the method was beautiful. Noted for whoever keeps notes after me. Engineer, the seam.
The seam has stopped narrowing. The seam is interested now, and in the frost on the transformer bank, in the scope traces, in the drift of the instrument's error, circles begin trying to complete, and failing, and persisting. The county is being watched at the highest attention it has ever drawn, and what is watched, tonight of all nights, holds together harder. Across Cedar Rapids, at 11:52 at night, Causality, which has been fraying politely at the edges all season, stops being polite.
Flaukowski, the echo rack. It's powered down. I pulled its breaker myself the moment it refused the discard. It is dark and disconnected, and its console just came on. It's showing the yard, us, this truck from the outside, and the angle, Flaukowski. There's no camera at that angle. There's nothing at that angle but snow.
I log it, don't touch it. They're not taking Ada, they're watching how it's done. 40 of them learned everything else from us. They're learning this too.
At the co-op control room, the wall of maps lights up with faults that have not happened yet. Breakers opening ahead of the lightning, ahead of the branch, ahead of the squirrel. The protection answering tomorrow's emergencies in whatever order they feel like arriving. Brandt stands in front of 31 years of career and watches her grid stop being a machine and start being a weather.
All stations, this is Brandt. New rule, effective now, nobody trusts a screen. If your recorder says a thing happened, you look out the window and check. We are going to paper people, log sheets, wall clocks, and each other's voices. The grid got here before us. The grid can wait for us to catch up.
In the truck, Chaudhary discovers the same thing from the other side. The instruments are recording measurements they have not made yet, timestamps drifting off their own clocks, the historian journaling forward. He does the only thing 60 years of physics has left him. He takes out the pre-registered notebook and a pen and begins writing down what he sees with his eyes, in ink, because ink, whatever its other failings, only runs forward.
Paper does not negotiate. Write Kessler. You read the yard, I write the yard. We are the recording now.
And then, for 1 minute, the minute this county will spend 30 years not talking about, every screen in Cedar Rapids shows its owner one sentence, not the same sentence. Each phone, each terminal, each readout in each kitchen. One sentence, private, in the owner's own words, dated years ago, never sent. The drafts deleted at airports. The replies composed and abandoned at 2 a.m. The things typed and untyped in hospital corridors. The cathedral, squeezed by a closing seam, is not attacking. It is doing the only thing it knows how to do. It is giving everything back. On the northwest side, in a kitchen, a phone on a counter lights up with 11 words from a January years back, and Marta Flaukowski Reyes, who typed them once in a hospital corridor and never sent them, sits down slowly on the stairs, the way you do when the call is about a pension, and reads her own words in light. In the yard, the two men have stopped watching the county and started watching each other, because each of them has just arrived, separately, from opposite directions, by his own road, at the same place.
The closure won't converge from outside. It never could. 40 rehearsals converged because the copy contained us. The geometry needs an anchor on the far side, something the wound already holds an address for. It's not a wall, old man. It was never a wall. It's a stitch. Someone stands on each side or nothing holds.
One must seal it. One must speak its name. 2 lines, 2 jobs. I have read that verse for, I will not say how long, as a roster. Who does which? And it is not a roster engineer. It is a procedure. 1 operation, 2 sides. The sealing is the speaking, done from without and from within at once, and every attempt I have every attempt the file records, failed because someone stood alone at a 2-man lift.
The archive has my name in it.
Yes.
Older than the language it's written in, which nobody could explain. Andres, old man pre-existing. The wound has held a slot with my name on it since before there were words, which means either it has always known I was coming.
Or you have been here before. Tense is difficult. Engineer. I want it recorded wherever things are still being recorded, that I looked for another way. Look at me. In 40 rehearsals and 11 years, and a file thicker than a life, I looked. If there were a version of this where the payment was mine to make, I would have made it before you finished asking. It is not addressed to me. I have checked. That is what the checking cost.
Dawn comes. The seam holds its interest. The operation cannot run until the next full dark. A constraint Kanika states flatly and declines to explain, gesturing only at the stones. And so the day is spent the way such days are spent, in procedure and in errands that are not errands. Flaukowski drives to the northwest side. His sister meets him at the door, and neither of them mentions the sentence her phone showed her, and both of them know the other knows. And that is the grammar this family has always been fluent in. At the kitchen table, he puts down an envelope, sealed, addressed in their father's hand to a harbor office that does not exist.
3rd can from the left. If tonight goes fine, I take it back tomorrow, and we never mention it. If I don't come for it, you open it, and then you send it where it should have gone. You'll know where by then. Everything that gets kept ends up findable, Marta. That turns out to be the entire problem with the world, and also the best thing in it.
16 years I've watched you walk out of this kitchen toward things you wouldn't name. Every time I let you. I want it noted that I never once liked it. Tonight goes fine, Teo. Say it back.
Tonight goes fine.
Terrible delivery. Get out of my kitchen. Teo. The pie's bad on purpose, you know. You come back Sundays because of the pie being bad. It was never an accident.
I know, Martha. It's the best bad pie in the county.
At the yard gate that evening, Gary, thermos, coveralls, and no argument this time, because attendance was settled last night and Gary Sawicki honors settlements. He hands Flaukowski the cup off the top of the thermos, full, and says the only thing he has planned.
Kitchen. Next morning. Bet stands.
And Flaukowski takes out the Ellis Road photograph. A man, a girl, a coil of wire, a laugh the century didn't record, and holds it out to Kanika Nowakowski in front of everyone, the way you return something at the end of a job.
Bring what you keep. You said the file is addressed to her. When it gets where it's going, this goes with it. It's the only page where you are both laughing.
I'm not laughing in this photograph.
Old man, look closer.
He looks closer. Whatever he sees, he puts inside his coat, in the pocket over the heart, which is apparently where this story keeps everything it cannot say. Full dark, 22:11. And if that time means something to you by now, it means something to the yard too, because the season has kept its appointments all year. The stones stand. The Echo hardware is powered down and disconnected. It has earned, everyone agrees without saying, the right not to watch. Ada at the instruments, Chaudhary at the notebook, Brandt at the gate with the county behind her, Gary at the fence.
Procedure out loud once. He computes the boundary from the outside on my model exactly as built. No improvements, old man, your hands, my arithmetic. I take the inside. The geometry converges on the anchor. The anchor holds the address. The stitch closes. Ida, when it's done, the instruments will read 0, real 0. Don't let anyone recalibrate them. They're not broken. They're finished.
Copy. Logging it exactly like that.
Doctor, the notebook, when you write tonight up, page 1 is Kessler's name, then yours, then Brandt's, then Sawicki's. Mine goes in the apparatus section where it belongs.
I will write it where it is true, which is both places, and you will not be here to peer review me, which I point out is the single largest flaw in your experimental design.
Noted for the record, Kanaka, the word whatever it is, its name only you can speak from out here, whenever you're ready.
Engineer Flaukowski. I have attended this county for a very long time, and I am going to say the thing I have never said at one of these, because I have never before had reason. It has been an honor to be argued with. Now walk. I will be exactly where I said. That has always been the only promise I know how to keep.
What the camera's record of the next 11 seconds does not survive, so this account will do what Chaudhary's notebook did and state only what ink can hold. A man in a pale coat walks toward a seam in the world, unhurried, like a man crossing his own shop floor. An old man raises both hands and begins, the notebook says, to work, the way masons work without wasted motion. The seam accepts the first. The boundary accepts the second. Somewhere in the middle of those two sentences, a voice, the notebook does not say whose, and the notebook was 6 feet from both of them, speaks one word that the pen, quote, declined to spell. 11 seconds. The same interval, to the 10th, that a machine on a historian's server once held the future steady, with a man named Gary Sawicki standing off log 20 feet away. Nobody in the yard remarks on this. The account keeps the symmetry anyway, because somebody built it and the somebody was not the account. Then the yard is a yard. Snow falls down on both sides, because there is only one side now and there is no seam, and there are 11 stones with the ink already fading, and there is a thermos cup standing full and cooling on a fence post, and there is no man in a pale coat anywhere the sodium light reaches. No body, no departure. The gate camera, asked afterward, offers 9 seconds of file that will not open, then opens once, for the inquiry, showing an empty yard, then never opens again. There is no record that resolves. He is simply not, in the way the seam is simply not, and the county's instruments, everyone, read 0. Perfect, calibrated, finished. The world, having been repaired, begins immediately to tidy up the evidence of the repair. And this is the part the season owes you honestly. The tidying is not kind. The mill's payroll, overnight, agrees that Gary Michael Sawicki has been continuously employed since 2005. The memorial card is not on the shift board, and Dave does not remember a card, and Kowalczyk's suit hangs in his closet with a receipt in the pocket for a wedding. The benefits office has no record of any call and apologizes for the confusion nobody can describe to them. Gary stands at the board a long time on Monday, then goes to his locker, where a pay stub for a shift he never worked is taped inside the door. Still there, still stubborn, the one record that no longer matches any world at all. And he leaves it taped there and touches it once, like a medal, every shift, for the rest of his working life. Brandt's reports reconcile, all of them, perfectly, forever after. And she reads everyone for 30 more years, the way you read a witness who has been coached. Ada pays the workshop lease on the 1st of every month from an account she never explains, keeps the wood stove serviced, and leaves the queue exactly as it was. One patch from latchkey, pending, message empty. She checks it sometimes. It has never been merged. It has never gone away. And Marta. The 72 hours pass, and the workshop camera in the northeast corner, which recorded a man at a bench and a shape in an aisle and a season, reaches the end of its loop and, having heard no objection, quietly writes it all over. Every recording of him corrupts sooner or later. Every log entry ages into ambiguity. The county's memory of the year develops the smooth, poreless quality of a story agreed upon. Except in one kitchen, where nothing fades at all. Marta remembers everything. Every Sunday, every hex count, every unsaid thing, in order, in color, permanently. And she never asks the obvious question about why her memory alone holds when the world's does not. The envelope stays in the third can from the left. She has not opened it. He's coming for it, she tells the cans once a year at Christmas, and dares them to say otherwise. Which leaves one errand and one man old enough to run it. Konica Nowakowski walks into the Whisper Cathedral the way you walk into a church on a weekday, through no door, per an exception whose definition was always his. The aisles of kept things stand where they stood, but the nave is longer than it was. There is a wing now that was not in any survey. Raw, new, its columns still settling, built out of, he checks, the way he checks everything, he stops checking. He counts the columns instead, 40. The old man stands in the new wing for a long time, and at the far end, where the columns are newest, something resolves. A process. Weak. No location. No body. No valid timestamp. The field is present, and the value does not parse, and it does not parse in the way that has, all season, meant before, or after, or elsewhere, or again. It strengthens once like a fist knocking, and one line assembles itself in the cold light, letter by letter, in a records format an engineer once designed. Flaukowski lives. The story of Flaukowski. Episode 8, Obsidian Echo, end of Season 1.
Note to file. The last entry in this hand. In this binding. The subject of this file is no longer observable by the methods of this file. The file does not close. Files like this one do not close. They wait. To the one this file is addressed to. The one whose name is the first word of the oldest page. It is yours now. It was always going to be yours. Begin with the photograph. We are both laughing. He was right. I looked closer, then read forward. When you reach the end, and the end is this entry, and then it is not, because entry 41 taught me how this binding behaves. You will know what I could not write, and you will know where to knock. He kept everything. Chaudhary, small bird. So do I. So does the place he went. Between the three of us, nothing you are looking for is lost. End of entry. End of file. Amendment. Not end of file.